Hey, Bob, you're watching Dolly Vision.
The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king the beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mock the truth while live on their light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast. So unreal. YouTube madness, like, share, subscribe. Tracks on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing? Shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, keep the beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost souls shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on their light.
What's up, my beautiful people, and welcome to the show tonight. Tonight, we got to give trigger warnings. What we're going to be discussing tonight is really bad, and if you're sensitive to really harsh topics, you may want to tune off tonight. We're going to be talking about the case of missing Michael Monkey Vaughan, and a lot of paperwork has come out, the affidavits to get the arrest warrants for Sarah and Stacy are out, and we're going to be going over some of that stuff. But first, guys, I'm going to need you to leave the DNA. Where, PJ?
On the like button.
On the damn like button, people. Leave it on the like button. And of course, if you're brand new out there, what should they do?
Subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to the. You heard the lady, okay? Now you ain't got to listen to me, but you got to listen to PJ. So you got to sub up the damn channel, or she won't feed me, and I'll get all skinny like a crackhead, and we don't want that, okay? We don't want that. We don't need that. So, like I was saying, I've got to give my warnings. I definitely got to give my warnings. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact.
Where's our chat?
Just our opinion, people. I'll pull the chat up right here.
Oh.
Everyone is innocent to proven guilty in the court of law. Callers' opinions are theirs and theirs alone. And the biggest one of them all. It's do not, and I repeat, do not try to be Dolly at home.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Dangerous. Told you. So anyway, over the last, 3.5 years, 4 years, we have been covering the Monkey Michael Vaughan case. And it's one of those sad ones where a lot of these cases we cover, I believe, especially here on this channel, are parents that hurt the child. Right. But Michael Monkey Vaughan case is the opposite of that. This is a loving family that cared about their child, and some outside monsters came in to their happy family and did really horrible things to their son.
You don't even know yet.
Yeah. And I mean, we're going to go over some of this paperwork. Like I said, there's some trigger warnings in this tonight. If it discusses some really sensitive topics, And a lot of the stuff, I interviewed Stacy, PJ interviewed Sarah. So we got their stories to go off of what they told
And they
us.
lie.
And they lie so
lot.
bad because the affidavit says, hey, most of the stuff they've been up here on YouTube saying is just bold
there's more.
face lies. Okay. And still yet they haven't charged Brandon Scherf.
He's locked up. He got moved.
He got moved, but
I
has
think
he
they're
been charged?
I think they're positioning him in that spot.
They are saying he was the one on CCTV for sure. Now we know that. We've been known that anyway. Dolly Vision, we have been alleging that he was the guy on CCTV since I interviewed Stacy, and I was trying to get Stacy to tell on him. But they just continued to lie. And the police had a lot more evidence than we even knew about. And tonight we're going to learn about a lot of that new evidence right here together. And PJ is going to read you guys the affidavit. Let me share the screen so you know what we're reading from.
This is the one for Stacy or Sarah. They're the same. I believe they're the exact same affidavit, but they're both part of the whole story. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Okay.
Which one do you have pulled up? Is it Stacy or Sarah? I can't see that far.
This is Stacy James Wandra.
Okay. So I'll pull that up just in case it's a little different. I don't think it is, but I'll just pull that one up. And it starts with Detective Juanita Kelcher, the undersigned, being first day sworn on oath, deposes and says, 1, I am a peace officer employed by the Fruitland Police Department. 2, the defendant is alleged to have committed the following crimes between the dates of approximately July 27th, 2021 through 2025. First charge is first degree murder, felony. Second charge is kidnapping in the second degree, felony. And third charge is destruction of or concealment of evidence, which is also a felony. The crimes were not committed in my presence. I believe that there is probable cause to believe the defendant committed such crimes because of the following facts. Note, you must state the source of all information provided below. State what you observed and what you learned from someone else identifying that person. On July 27th, 2021, neighbors reported seeing 5-year-old MJV between approximately 18:15 and 18:30 hours in the area of Monkey's home. It's got redacted, Monkey's redacted, but we know it's about Monkey, so I'm just gonna say Monkey. It's hard for me to concentrate and read and then see the blotted out spot, so I'm just gonna say Monkey. So neighbors reported to seeing 5-year-old Monkey between approximately 18:15 and 18:30 hours in the area of Michael's home and nearby residences on South Arizona and Fruitland, Pate County, Idaho. Monkey knocked on some of his neighbors' doors, attempting to play with neighbors in their yards. Monkey was told to return home by all of the neighbors he contacted. At approximately 18:45 to 18:50, Tyler Vaughan noticed his 5-year-old son, Monkey, was missing from their home located in Fruitland, Pate County, Idaho. Tyler began searching his home and property for Monkey. Tyler called 911 to report his son missing at approximately 19:21 hours, and the Fruitland Police Department responded to the area. Fruitland Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, along with other local agencies and volunteers, searched for Monkey over several weeks and now years. Through interviews, searches, and other corroborating evidence, all of Monkey's family and household members have been determined to not have any knowledge of Monkey's current location, nor were they involved in Monkey's disappearance. All of Monkey's neighbors on 9th Street in Arizona have also been thoroughly investigated, searched, and interviewed, and have been determined by law enforcement to not have any knowledge of or involvement in Monkey's disappearance. The surrounding area was searched extensively, and Monkey was never found. So far, we know all that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's just the basics. What he's charged with, when Monkey went missing, how Tyler reported it.
Mhm.
Okay,
And the
so
time frame. So
in the time,
18,
yeah.
6 o'clock, 6.
I am terrible with military time.
Well, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. So 6 p.m. So between 6:15 and 6:30 is when the neighbors report to have seen him outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyler called 911 at 7:21.
Yeah, you know, he was probably
Freaking
panicking,
out. Yeah.
running around the house looking, thinking, you know, the kid's in the house somewhere. And then once he realized he wasn't in the house or in the front yard or backyard, he freaked out and called 911. So it wasn't long that Michael Monkey Vaughan was missing before the police were actually notified.
That time frame is important.
Yes.
When you start seeing the information that comes out after the fact, you'll see that certain people were in the direct area and vicinity at that exact time.
Yeah, and we knew that anyway.
I know.
From the interviews with them. Okay. All right, go ahead, PJ.
Live sent K9 teams searched the surrounding neighborhood August 2nd and 3rd, 2021, using a pair of monkey shoes for monkey scent. Out of approximately 300 homes, K9 handlers reported the dogs only showed interest in one house located at Redacted in Fruitland.
We know what house that was.
Yeah.
That was the Wander house. That's like the house of 1,000 corpses. It's where the big stanky monster lives.
You don't even know. This is the home of I love them.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. A bit of internet problems. So give me 1 second.
Solar flares.
All right, we're back. We're back.
Okay, the dog scent was the last thing, PJ. Thank you. The Banshee showed interest in the area of the corner of Meadowlark and Red Wing Street. The K9 showed interest at the intersection and then headed straight to the fence and front door of the Wanderers' residence. On August 2nd, K9 Banshee tracked scent down to a tree over the edge of the bluff off Southwest 8th and Three River Way. K9 Banshee was determined to track the scent into the thorny bushes under the tree despite the thorns. A discarded child's stroller was located deep in those thorny bushes. On August 5th, 2021, a pink Big Flyer tricycle was located behind the Bluffs sign at Three River Way and Southwest 8th Street. During a search of the same area, the tricycle was not there. Jim Smith, who lives in the Three Rivers subdivision, later reported that he had found the tricycle over the bluff under the tree next to the child's stroller. Jim said he took it home to use one of the wheels for another project, but then discarded it after not removing the wheel as planned. Jim said he left it behind the bluff sign for neighbor kids to use. Kim Elko would later report to law enforcement that she had seen the tricycle in the Wanderer's garage during a yard sale in the spring of 2021. Elko was able to describe the layout of the Wanderer's garage and where she saw the tricycle on a stack of boxes. The described stack of boxes was still there during a later search warrant on the Wanderer's residence and garage. Dorothy Starkey, that's their direct neighbor, that's an SO, who was present at Blank and Fruitland, reported on July 29th that she saw Monkey riding big wheel tricycle at the corner of Red Wing Street. Does that mean, wait, he went missing on the 27th of July. So how could she have seen him on July 29th? Or she reported on July 29th that she saw
seen him.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. She had seen him riding at Red Wing Street and Meadowlark Avenue on July 27th as she was either entering or leaving the neighborhood. Dorothy is seen on surveillance video coming into the neighborhood, westbound on Southwest 8th Street at 18:25 hours, and left the neighborhood eastbound on Southwest 8th Street at 19:25 hours. Other than Dorothy's report, there are no other reports of Monkey being seen anywhere other than Southwest 9th Street and his next door neighbor's house on Arizona on
All right, we're back. Sorry, guys. The internet's being a little shady right now. I don't know what it is.
you, it's solar flares.
Solar flares.
Hopefully they heard the last part. I'll just start with video surveillance was gathered from security cameras in the neighborhood Monkey disappeared from, as well as the neighboring areas. Monkey is never seen on any of the surveillance footage that was obtained. Stacy Wandra is captured on surveillance footage driving a white Lexus and pulling into the parking area of the splash pad in the neighborhood off Southwest 8th Street at 15:23 hours on July 27th, 2021. Stacy is seen exiting the driver's door, walking around to the passenger side of the car, and appears to be testing the exterior door handle to see if it is locked. Stacy then walked back around the driver's side of the vehicle, where he got into the driver's seat and exited the area onto Southwest 8th Street at 15:24 hours, 1 minute after arriving. Video surveillance shows an adult male walking in the area of Three River Way at 18:08 hours on July 27, 2021, and the same male is captured walking in the area of the neighborhood splash pad at 18:18 hours. The last image of the male is captured at 18:28 hours as he walked through the wooded area to the west back towards the area in which the Wanderers lived. Brandon Shirtliff was identified in 2022 as being this person and told detectives during an interview that the surveillance video captured him as he was walking and searching for a missing child on the date that Monkey disappeared. This video captured Brandon walking prior to Monkey being reported missing. Brandon reported he was living with the Wanderers on this date.
Okay, let me touch in on that. Because for the longest time, we have been saying that Brandon Shirtliff is the one that kidnapped Michael Monkey Vaughan. And that he was out there walking around. And so their stories don't add up.
And remember his girlfriend tried to tell me that he didn't have a tattoo on his leg or something like that?
Yes. And of course, we knew that it was him, but now we got the police confirming that it was Brandon Shirtliff. So it's no longer a theory; it's basically fact at this point that it was him.
It was
right?
definitely him.
And so
not only that,
the stories, it's crumbling. Especially what they shared here on this channel is falling slam apart from this police affidavit. It's not lining up at all. Okay.
And the fact that he had the audacity to say he was searching for the kid then when it was not even the time.
Yeah.
It was not the right
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, and these are some creepy people. And Adrian allegedly was at the house when they said he was gone. And, they say he's a notorious child trafficker.
They said trafficker, but I believe that was in relation to something else. There was never, I looked that up. Remember, we were thinking that it was to do with rugs.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that that's true. But
Okay.
he's the one that's actually got the most shadiest past. But this next part is about Adrian. It says on August 1st, Fruitland Police contacted the residents at blank Fruitland, which I think they're redacting Stacy and Sarah's house. I don't really know why. On their initial search of the residence.
Oh, I can tell you why. Because the mother sold the house and somebody else lives in the residence.
Oh, okay. On their initial search of the residence, they located Adrian Lucian hiding in a closet. Residents of the home on that date and on July 27th were identified as married couple Stacy and Sarah Wandra and their sublets Brandon Shurtleff and Adrian Lucian. All four were interviewed on August 1st, 2021. Adrian was vague in his statements and wouldn't commit to a solid statement. He also refused to provide his social security number for identification confirmation. He provided Stacy's phone number as his own and concealed his real phone number from law enforcement. On August 21st, 2021, Sarah reported that on July 27th, she and Stacy slept until noon. Sarah said they left the residence at around 1700 hours to tow a vehicle to Kuna. Sarah and Stacy denied they were home around 1830 hours on July 27th, 2021. Wait, to tow a vehicle to Kuna?
Yeah, remember they were supposed to be towing it back.
Well, that was their story afterwards.
That was their story. And they also said that they pulled over on Arizona and 8th Street to put power steering fluid in the car.
Right.
Right. Now that story changes here.
We'll get to that. Yep.
Yeah.
Cell phone tower data and surveillance footage show Sarah, Stacy, Adrian, and Brandon were in the area of their neighborhood at the time of Monkey's disappearance. Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon returned to Fruitland, verified by surveillance, in Sarah's blue Toyota Corolla at 1708 hours, only to leave again at 1712 hours. The Toyota then came back into the neighborhood again at 1756 hours. Was that when they were going to get milk?
I'm not quite sure.
Surveillance footage shows Sarah driving the maroon GMC pickup on July 27th, 2021, as she drove out of the neighborhood 1908 hours. Stacy has been identified as the front passenger, and Brandon was the driver's side rear passenger. Sarah, Stacy, and Brandon's phone data showed they were on location as they left the neighborhood at 1908 hours and drove to Kuna, Idaho. That's the part that's really bad.
Yeah, because that's when they actually.
No, that's when you'll hear it. It's bad. Trigger warning for anybody that's still here and doesn't know. It's bad.
All right, go ahead.
It's bad. Adrian's phone did not provide any location data during the evening of July 27th. However, Adrian took a selfie in the guest bathroom at the Wonder residence at 1926 hours. A selfie? Really? Wander's maroon GMC pickup truck is captured on surveillance footage, returning to their Fruitland neighborhood at 23:22 hours on July 27th, pulling or towing a silver Mercedes-Benz. Following Monkey's disappearance, Sarah had a distinct change in behavior. Following Monkey's disappearance, Sarah began to stand along the highway near Love's gas station in Ontario, Oregon, with signs stating to repent for your sins and the end time is near.
Yeah. So she went all psycho-religious right there after Michael Monkey Vaughan went missing. Yeah, thinking you need to repent for your sins because she done committed the most horrible sin you could actually commit. So their stories from all the interviews they've given on the internet, none of it's lining up with what the police are saying.
Sarah's social media posts on TikTok and Facebook also changed drastically to religion and asking for forgiveness of her sins. Prior to Monkey's abduction, Sarah had posted only approximately 11 videos on TikTok over 3 years. Following Monkey's abduction, Sarah posted approximately 329 videos from September 15th through December 24th. In TikTok videos Sarah posted, Sarah made testimony statements regarding her involvement in criminal behaviors and stated that she had broken all 10 of the 10 commandments.
All 10.
It should be noted that thou shalt not kill is in fact one of the 10 commandments.
So
Sarah-
she's admitting that she's killed before.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she's saying she's broke all 10 commandments,
I mean, she's killed somebody.
then that means she's killed somebody. Thou shalt not kill is one of the 10 commandments. And what a horrible woman. What a horrible man. What horrible people we're dealing with.
Worse.
And Michael Monkey Vaughan was a beautiful little boy, had a full life ahead of him, good parents in a good area. And these monsters like creeped up into that good neighborhood, and they were bringing in homeless people and just riffraff, or they would meet online to sleep with his wife. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting.
Makes me sick.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Sarah also alleged in her videos that it did not matter what sin she had committed because God had forgiven her for all of them. Monkey's missing person flyer can be seen on her refrigerator in the background in some of her videos. Sarah was interviewed again by law enforcement on November 15th. Stacy was also interviewed after being confronted with the photo of her leaving the neighborhood on July 27th, driving the GMC pickup at 19:08 hours. Sarah changed her story and said she was driving the GMC to get Brandon's Mercedes-Benz from Kuna to tow back to Fruitland. Sarah said the trip to Kuna to get the car had not been previously planned and that it was Stacy who wanted to go get the car at the time and date. Sarah said she stopped at Southwest 8th and South Arizona on the way out of the neighborhood to input the address into the GPS.
Okay, stop right there for 1 second. We got to remember, Sarah came up here. You said they stopped at there to put power steering fluid
Stacy said that, yeah.
in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
That the power steering fluid was low, so they stopped right there on 8th in Arizona.
And we were saying how that was weird because why wouldn't you check that before
That's
you leave
where
your
he
driveway?
said. That's where he said he seen the child playing in the neighbor's yard, right? Or how do you know the child was playing in the neighbor's yard if you don't know who the child is? So he had all kind of inconsistent statements right there. Now you got the police saying that Sarah told them that they stopped to put in the address. Which one is it? Were they putting in the address or were they putting in power steering fluid? But it's starting to their story's starting to unwind. All right.
Sarah said they drove to North Snowbell in Kuna, which is Brandon's mother's home. It is worth noting Brandon was in the truck with them when they entered the GPS coordinates to go to Brandon's mother's house, and that Sarah and Brandon's cell phone data shows them at the residence earlier that day. So they went there already for the day? I didn't know that. Sarah said Brandon's mother, Tina, was out of town. Sarah said Tina did not allow Brandon to have people in her home when she was not there. So Sarah and Stacy parked down the road, and Brandon used a back gate on the south side to enter Tina's residence so that her doorbell camera did not capture him there. Sarah reported that while towing the car back to Fruitland, the tow strap broke. I wonder what the significance is of that. I mean, I'm sure maybe it
right by the landfill.
Right.
You know, that's the scary part is the tow strap. They went a certain way back that took them around the landfill. And then while they're out by the landfill, the tow strap breaks right across the street from the landfill.
Why did he say that?
I don't know.
Stacy and Sarah Wandra sold their phones, lost or sold their vehicles, and got rid of their furniture shortly after Monkey went missing. Sarah was asked about...
I think that's, not to cut you off, but I think they were trying to get rid of evidence.
Well, yeah, you'll hear it in the...
Okay.
I've already read this twice. He hasn't read it to the bottom. Like, you've heard up probably to this part. It gets, like, that's nothing.
Okay.
Got rid of furniture. Sarah was asked about changing her phones following Monkey's abduction. Sarah provided 2 reasons. Sarah said they sold their phones because she and Stacy were splitting up, and Sarah said they sold their phones because a demon told her to. Sarah was still paying on the phones that she sold. Sarah was asked about her Facebook post and providing the following response. I literally had like a demon tell me that I need to leave my husband. I literally deleted all of my pictures. I have no idea what my passwords are. We had a fight. My husband and I had to sell our phones and we had to get new phones. And I can't access any of my stuff. So I do have Facebook, just don't have access to it right now. When asked about the vehicles Sarah and Stacy have, Sarah said that the GMC pickup was repossessed. Sarah said she told Stacy when they heard the repo guy were coming to take the truck, we're going to be the nicest repo they've had today. Law enforcement was later told that the truck appeared to have been thoroughly cleaned prior to the repo.
Yeah, so they done got rid of their furniture. They done scrubbed the phones. They done cleaned out the vehicle. And guys, if you're just tuning in, there's like 1,300 of you here. Do me a solid and hit the like on this video, please. Just like it up. And once you do, I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from and listening to tonight. We got a lot to go over in this case. A lot of new information is emerging.
Started.
And trigger warning, it's definitely a sensitive topic tonight. So do me a favor, just hit the like button real quick for us so we don't got to keep reminding you guys and sounding like an 81 used car salesman, like a Buick, one owner, low miles. You know, just go ahead and hit it for us. Thank you guys, and thank you for being here with us tonight. Let's get it.
Following the interview on November 15th, Brandon reported Sarah and Stacy contacted him and told him that they were re-interviewed about Monkey's abduction. Brandon said Stacy suggested Brandon come over to their place and create an alibi or write a letter or on behalf of Sarah and Stacy saying that they were not involved in Monkey's abduction. Tina, Brandon's short-lived mother, was interviewed by law enforcement. Tina reported that Brandon's behavior changed after he lived with the Wanderers. Tina explained that Brandon became more depressed and withdrawn, spending more time playing video games and smoking marijuana. Tina would not tell law enforcement where Brandon was or what his phone number was at the time. Oh, Tina. Shame.
Taking up for your kid.
Shame on you. Shame. Kay Ramsey, Sarah's mother, was interviewed and shown a picture of a tricycle described above. Kay claimed she found the tricycle in some bushes prior to Monkey's abduction. The bushes that Kay described are near where Mr. Smith found the tricycle just after Monkey's abduction. Kay said that would be the reason her DNA would be on the tricycle. That's not weird at all.
Yeah, trying to cover, because she's helped cover this crime up, taking up for Sarah.
God.
So I say lock them all up. I lock every last one. Lock Brandon's mama up. Lock Sarah's mama up. Lock them all up. Let them learn a lesson that you ain't gonna be killing kids around here. I mean, make an example of these people, and I'm hoping that they're facing the firing squad.
I hope and pray they get the justice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kay said that the reason that her DNA would be on the tricycle, Kay said that after all of the effort, she left it at the intersection of Three Rivers Way and Southwest 8th Street. Kay was 73 years old in July of 2021, and the bushes were very difficult to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Kay also confirmed to law enforcement that Sarah and Stacy's dog had dug holes in the backyard of the Red Wing residence. Kay reported the dog had dug up what she later determined to be the ear of a green stuffed animal. Kay said she had thrown away the stuffed ear. Remember that, because that's going to come up as something else later.
And remember, Michael, that we were told that the kid was out there playing with something in the yard, too.
Yeah. Kay is alleged to have withheld information and or evidence. Why is she not charged? Why are these people not charged?
I mean, it ain't over yet. They may end up being charged.
But why wait this long? If you already know that she's withholding information, like hem them all up and make them talk.
Well, they're trying to build a
I
solid
know,
case.
but like the people associated with them, like her mother, they could have given them charges and put them away for a day
Well,
or two to scare them and
They're-
shake it up a little
they
bit.
may still end up getting locked up behind this. You know, it depends how hard people push it and how much backlash there is about nothing being done. And we may see Kay and Tina go to jail for open dispose of this child and the evidence that would lead them to this child.
Yeah.
And they're right. Them bushes are really thick because, you know, guys, I've been out to Fruitland, Idaho, and, you know, there's one way in, there's one way out. And when you get to the end, it goes down this dirt road and there's all these bushes. And that's where the Snake River is at. So these people, they need to be buried under the jail. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, PJ.
No, you're fine. Kay is alleged to have withheld information and or evidence in other criminal investigation involving Sarah in 2022. Then Kay initially concealed a firearm used in an aggravated assault in which Sarah was later convicted, which is what she's serving time
for right now because she thinks she's Tupac. Okay. Suge Knight.
When law enforcement met with Sarah on October 12th, 2022, Sarah said God told her he was going to help her find the boy. During the interview, at the first mention of Monkey, Sarah became emotional and broke down crying in front of the detectives. Sarah wrote a testimony and said that if law enforcement read it, they would locate Monkey. Sarah suggested God had forgiven Hitler for his sins, that God had redeemed Sarah for her sins.
So God forgave Hitler and Sarah. Nobody else, but just them two. All right, they're good. They.
How does she know that?
Why would she bring up Hitler? God forgave. I don't
That's
think
the
God
worst
forgave
person she could think of.
Hitler.
Guess.
I guess, you know.
I mean,
like,
we don't know what's inside Hitler's heart before he died. Like, we don't know that. I don't even want to get into that.
He died in Argentina. Okay, on a U-boat. Let's. All right, go ahead.
Christy Kutch, which I don't know who that is, but she's named, told detectives prior to Sarah's arrest, April 2022, she made a statement about Stacy being involved in the abduction of a 5-year-old boy. Chrissy said she made personal notes of their conversation. In June of 2022, there was a recorded jail phone call between Sarah and Christy where Sarah advised Stacy had been arrested. Christy asked if he had been charged with the kidnapping of a 5-year-old boy. Sarah recanted her prior statements, claiming that Christy misunderstood her prior comments. Also mentioned was how Sarah's dog was digging large holes in the backyard. On November 5th, 2022, at 00:55 hours, Stacy contacted Fruitland Police and requested an interview at the Washington County Jail.
Yep.
Stacy provided vague details about events surrounding Monkey's abduction. Stacy said Sarah's religious beliefs and behavior changes started within a couple of days after Monkey's abduction. After Stacy's arrest for an unrelated incident, Stacy spoke of changing phones and or SIM cards to prevent law enforcement to follow or profile him. Why would you tell the cops that? What?
Because they were guilty. I mean, we've known for years they were guilty.
Of course.
There's been clues from the first day I was there about the vehicle that was involved.
Yeah.
And I learned that the first day that I was in Fruitland, Idaho. At the same time that Brandy was learning it, we were sitting in her living room together. Me, Brandy, her father-in-law, and one of her kids. And I was talking with the father-in-law, and he was like, yeah, detectives just told me that they have a vehicle that belongs to a married couple in the neighborhood. And at that point, Brandy didn't know, because then Brandy chimed in. She was like, where did you hear this? He was like, well, I just talked to a detective, one of the detectives yesterday, and he was saying that they're investigating. So they were just then putting the pieces together about Sarah and Stacy, and that was 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
On November 10th, Stacy again asked to speak with Fruitland Police detectives. Stacy wanted a deal, the same offer that was given to Sarah in the Michael Vaughan case. Stacy admitted Monkey had been in the house the night of Monkey's abduction. Stacy admitted the tricycle had been in his garage. where Kim Elko had previously described seeing it.
In the garage, yeah.
Stacy then said that when he first saw Michael, Sarah was carrying Michael into their home. Stacy said Michael was put into a duffel bag to transport him out of their house into Brandon's house in Kuna. Stacy and Sarah were frantic trying to figure out what to do, and Brandon interjected, "I have a duffel bag."
Yeah, but my thing about this is, was he alive at this point in a duffel bag?
Yeah.
Or dead in a
Yes,
duffel
yeah,
bag?
no.
He was alive in a
Yes.
duffel bag.
It gets severe trigger warning right now, guys. I'm telling you right now. If you can't handle it, click out.
Okay, keep going.
But keep in mind, while I do read this, Stacy has lied how many times now?
A lot.
So this is coming from Stacy. So Brandon to the rescue. I have a duffel bag. Stacy described Monkey as crying, and to prevent him from moving or making noise, Stacy described how Sarah taped Monkey using duct tape. When asked who put Monkey in the bag, Stacy said Brandon grabbed the bag and gave it to Sarah. Sarah picked up Monkey as Adrian helped hold the sides of the bag open as they shoved Monkey into the duffel bag. Stacy described Monkey was wiggling, trying to get away. Stacy said he could see Monkey in the bag with his knees bent up in the fetal position. While describing and demonstrating how Monkey was taped and stuffed into the duffel bag in his living room, Stacy had a physical reaction and began violently vomiting. When asked if he was vomiting because of the chewing tobacco he was using, he indicated that he was throwing up because of the stress of talking about Monkey.
That is so horrible. So horrible. I mean, at that point, I would walk you out back and lethal inject your ass. I mean, what horrible, horrible people. All these lies for all these years. And, you know, what happens in the dark always comes to light.
Stacy provided 2 reasons they stopped in the GMC at the corner of Southwest 8th Street and South Arizona in Fruitland. 1, for Stacy to put power steering fluid into the vehicle, and 2, so Brandon could check to see if Monkey was still alive, because Monkey was bound with duct tape and stuffed into a duffel bag in the bed of the truck. Stacy said he was able to hear Monkey making noise like dull screams. Stacy said they were worried about being seen because they saw a car parked off South Arizona.
Wow. So they grab him and then they pull over with him in a duffel bag right by his house. Okay.
I almost pray this isn't true. I mean, Stacy said they drove straight to Brandon's mother's house in Kuna, where Brandon grabbed both bags, the duffel bag containing Monkey and a backpack, and went into the house by himself. Stacy said that once they arrived in Kuna, Monkey was not making any more noises, and none of them had checked in on him to verify that he was still alive. Stacy said that Brandon told him he left Monkey in the bag and put him in the spare room inside of his mother's house.
And that's why the dogs hit at the mother's house, because Monkey was there. The cadaver dogs.
The cadaver dogs hit in front of the fence where he would have set the bag down to open the door. That just makes me sick.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrible. We told you guys, that's why we said trigger warning when you come in, that what we were discussing tonight was really bad. You're going to hear some horrible things. And
I mean, what kind of monsters? Just like, he was a tall little boy. He wasn't like,
I know.
And a duffel bag is not even that big. Like, what, you're like folding this kid up into a duffel bag? Why?
Because they're monsters. That's why. And I believe it was so. I hate to say it, but trigger warning, guys. I think Stacy did this to SA a child.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I truly believe.
I don't even want
there's
to
no
think like that.
There's no
I don't
motive.
think we'd ever know that to be a fact. He's never going to say that. We're never going to know that.
But that's what I think. I mean, I'm entitled to what I think, and like that's what I think is his reasoning behind grabbing this child. Is anytime usually women or people are kidnapped, they're 99% of the time kidnapped to sexually assault.
I don't think that it was him that grabbed him. I think it was Brandon.
I know for Stacy.
I don't think it was for Stacy. I think it was for Adrian, because Adrian's the one that was wanting to do all the events of where they were trying to pretend they were hookers and they were trying to get people to come out. You'll hear, and it's coming up. They then towed Brandon's car back to Fruitland. Stacy said that Sarah, Brandon, and Adrian went to Kuna the next day to get Monkey. The three of them brought Monkey's body back to their house in Fruitland. He stated that he was inside, Brandon was on guard, and Sarah and Adrian dug the hole together. Stacy reported he did not previously report this information because he thought he would still get into trouble and because he was fearful of Sarah hurting him. Stop it, Stacy.
I mean, she's a gun-toting renegade.
He's got anger issues. That's on record also. In an interview, Stacy stated that Monkey had a stuffed animal, some sort of stuffed animal, I want to say, like a dinosaur or a monkey. And what I saw was a monkey, was a green and looked like green monkey. In the interview, Stacy advised the lime green monkey was a dog toy that he and Sarah gave Monkey to keep him quiet while he was sitting on their couch in the living room. Additionally, Stacy stated that the idea to take the child to sell for money was Adrian's, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacy was asked if Sarah provided any direction throughout any part of this. Stacy said that Sarah asked him and Brandon to follow her lead, which was to take the kid. Stacy recalled that most of the conversation at that point was Sarah trying to figure out what they were going to do. Sarah had asked Brandon where we should put the body, and Brandon was like, well, you guys can take him over to my house and we'll deal with it, and that will buy us some time. Following his interview with law enforcement, Stacy called his mother, Tamara Johnson, from the Washington County Jail on a video visit. Trigger warning once again, guys. Trigger warning, extreme trigger warning right here. Tamara asked Stacy if Monkey was alive. Stacy shook his head no and said Sarah accidentally killed him. Tamara asked how. Stacy said suffocation and went on to say they buried him in a duffel bag. After his interview and phone call to his mother, Stacy wrote an apology letter to Monkey's parents and then attempted to hang himself in his jail cell, but he was rescued by Washington County Jail staff. It should be noted that during some part of Stacy's incarceration in the Washington County Jail, prior to his confession and directions on where to find Monkey's body, Sarah was out of custody and living back at the house off Red Wing Street, and as evidenced by her being there when law enforcement arrived to execute the search warrant. Sarah could have had the time and ability to move any evidence from the property without Stacy's knowledge. In June 22, Sarah called Kay Ramsey from jail and spoke about spouses being able to testify against each other. In a recorded phone call from Washington County Jail to Sarah, Sarah expressed concern. Stacy expressed concern that Sarah was going to turn on Stacy. Their names are so similar.
Yeah.
It's like a tongue twister. Sarah confirmed that Stacy was referring to Michael Vaughan. Sarah told Stacy that she had already told her attorney that she wasn't going to turn on Stacy and that she wasn't going to testify against Stacy. Stacy then reassured Sarah he'd never testify against her. As a search warrant was executed on whatever house that is on November 12th, Stacy described the exact location as to where to find Monkey buried in the backyard of the residence. He instructed detectives through video chat. Sarah Wander, who was located in the residence at the time, was detained. As officers read to her the search warrant, Sarah made several strange statements. Wow. That is a lot. I definitely did not kill that boy. The Most High God already told me who did it. So, oh, wow. Wow, the Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one who killed him and he buried him in the yard of Carson's house. She also said the Most High God told her Stacy was the one that killed him and buried him. The Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one who did it. He wants me to make sure you understand that I had nothing to do with it. He said that Stacy buried him in the backyard by the shed. It wasn't actually Stacy who harmed the boy. An officer started to search the residence. Sarah asked several times if the officers had found him yet.
And just to, throw this out there, cadaver dogs did hit on the house, right? They hit on where they said the baby was dug, but when they dug up the backyard, of course, they didn't find Michael Monkey Vaughan. But cadaver dogs, something was dead for sure at that yard. Now, we got him confessing to a crime. We got her saying, them blaming each other. Instead of both people saying, hey, we ain't got nothing to do with it, they're both blaming each other, right? And then, they lied about Adrian being there, right? They said he had left, and now it's coming out that his story is that it was a $10,000 they were going to sell this kid to Adrian, and then Sarah accidentally suffocated little Michael Monkey Vaughan. And somebody said positional asphyxiation. That's where you're crumped up in a bag and like your lungs can't expand. Yes. And of course, or just the duct tape alone suffocated this small baby. And it could have been covering his mouth and his nose, and his airway was obstructed, and they've killed this kid. And every last one of these people should be buried under the prisons. Sarah, Stacy, Adrian, Shirtlift, Kay, Tina, right? The list just goes on. All these people need to rot. They need to pay the price. I would
even go as far as to add the content creators giving Stacy and Sarah positive feedback. I mean, at this point,
there's people out here that have been defending these baby killers, and they need to you don't even need to be on YouTube, right? These people out here, I've never understood it. I've seen, a lot of the cases I follow. There's certain
always a counterproductive person.
Yeah, there's always. Remember, people were helping like Leilani, and they always help. There's people that help the whales, and there's always people that support these fucking killers. And that is just so disgusting. And these channels, I don't know why people watch them. I don't have no clue. One thing you will never see me do up here is support a baby killer. You won't see that shit happening.
We'll have conversations with them.
It'll be a cold day in
hell.
A
conversation with you.
I'll talk to you to try to get evidence to put your ass in prison. But
see, people sometimes get that confused just because you associate or have adult conversations with somebody. People think that you're positive towards them. Yeah, that's not the case. You have to have a conversation.
Interviewed Stacy, we handed that over to the authorities.
Yeah.
To private investigators. I mean, we knew that going in, and it's the only reason I was asked to talk to him.
Yeah.
I originally was attacking the dude every time he went into a chat room. And
you actually got hid from a couple channels for attacking the dude.
Yeah, they were hiding me from channels because they didn't want me to say shit to him. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and not say nothing to this guy. And then, of course, when Brandy asked me not to, and we needed him to talk, then I kind of changed the roles and went with the program. But there's people out here that really support these killers.
They're
financially.
Right.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And listen, one day you're going to pay for your sins. Okay. And I that shit right there is a sin. That I don't think God looks good on people that support baby killers. That's all I'm saying.
Idaho State Police and Ada County Sheriff's Office assisted with the execution of the search warrant at the Wander residence, along with the 5 separate certified cadaver canines. Prior to officers digging in the backyard of the Wander's residence, cadaver canines were deployed and alerted in the backyard. A total of 5 certified cadaver canines were deployed, and all 5 alerted inside the Wander's backyard in the approximate area of where Stacy claimed he witnessed Sarah and Adrian bury Monkey. Neither monkey nor any human remains were located during the execution of this search warrant. Prior to excavating the backyard, law enforcement noted there were several areas in the yard that appeared to have been filled in with dirt and or resodded. Kay and Ed Ramsey reported they had filled in areas of the yard where Sarah and Stacy's dog had dug holes. At various interviews after the disappearance of Monkey Vaughan, Stacy was asked what happened to his and Sarah's cell phones from July of 2021. Sarah and Stacy wanted to detract attention so we are not on the radar, and that was the reason they sold their phones. When asked if there was evidence of the crimes on these phones, Stacy said there were text messages. Investigation revealed that the Wanderers changed their phones approximately 3 times in a 5-month period. Stacy described purchasing SIM cards to put into his cell phone to evade law enforcement. The GMC pickup was subsequently repossessed for non-payment. Stacy then called Kim's Cars, wanting the truck back or to borrow it. He also told them to hurry up and sell it. Stacy further advised that they sold the Lexus they had at the time Michael Monkey Vaughan was abducted. Within a few weeks of Monkey's disappearance, the Wanderers' iCloud data revealed Stacy and Sarah searched for rental houses in other states, financial assistance in different areas. Additionally, a photo of items boxed up was taken on July 30th as if they were preparing to move. In summation, Stacy confessed that the 4 members of the household, Stacy Wanderer, Sarah Wanderer, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian, were all involved in the abduction and killing of Michael Vaughan.
Wow.
Their home is in the neighborhood adjacent to the home where Michael lived and was last seen. The neighbor, Dorothy Starkey, saw Monkey riding a tricycle near the Wanderers' home at the time Monkey went missing. The same tricycle was seen in Wanderers' garage prior to the abduction. The tricycle was discarded outside the neighborhood off a bluff after Monkey went missing. Kay Ramsey, Sarah Wanderer's mother, claimed to have found it and moved it to the entrance of the neighborhood, which is refuted by the fact that another neighbor, unrelated to the case, claimed to have found it and placed it where Kay's story also does not account for the fact that the tricycle was in the house before being discarded and before Monkey went missing.
Hold on one second. People are saying we got 1.6K watching and only 850 likes.
That is mean.
That is dirty. That ain't, you're doing us dirty. That's terrible.
I'm about to lose my voice reading all this, and y'all are
You
mean.
guys take a second, like the video.
Please.
This is the things that help spread awareness, bring new people to the channel. So when we're talking about these kids and we're trying to spread awareness for these kids, that people see it. And it's absolutely free. It only takes you a second to hit the like button. I like from Arizona. As a charger too. Absolutely charge these people. If they had anything to do with it, hiding evidence or throwing the tricycle off of that bluff that leads down to the Snake River, because that's where it leads to. It's horrible. And they need to be in jail for accessory to conspiring to commit murder.
Yeah. Of a child.
Of a child too. Yeah, that is so horrible. Anything else?
I'm almost done. It's just a small paragraph. Live scent track dogs were deployed, and the only house they showed interest in was the Wanderers' house. That same dog showed interest in the area where Monkey went missing from and the area where the tricycle was discarded. Based on the foregoing, your affiant is requesting that Stacy Wanderer be charged with kidnapping and murder in the first degree, as well as concealment of evidence. The end.
Okay. So it appears that they had help, between Shirtlift's mother, Sarah's mother, moving of the evidence, hiding of the evidence, and 2 people wouldn't, maybe you may get one person that makes a false confession, but the fact that 2 people made a false confession. And, Brandy believes that Brandon Shirtliff holds the answers to where Michael Monkey Vaughan is, right?
I think I believe it also.
I think that they knew that Stacy was going to tell when he was in jail, and they moved the baby, and he did tell.
He did
right?
several times.
So they moved this baby, him and Sarah, and they know where this baby's at. I believe them two people do. And now we know from according to the affidavit that Adrian was more involved in this and may have been the motive behind why they did this to Michael Monkey Vaughan.
They were plotting with him on certain crimes they could set up to make money, easy money. When they had their taxi business, they were trying to rob people, pretend to be women and hookers. And so when somebody would get in the car, they were going to have someone jump out and you know, take the person's money. And like there was different plots and things that they were allegedly thinking they were going to do.
Now, we know they moved Brandon Shirtliff from one facility to another facility, but we don't know if he's been charged yet. We know officially that Sarah and Stacy both have been charged. Now, Adrian, he lives in D.C. here, not too far from us.
He's moved states probably 50 times since he's moved. He was locked up in Indiana a month ago for I think like grand theft, something massive, and they just let him go. So he's out somewhere MIA. I'm sure they got a track on him because they've been watching him. You know, you can't run from, you know, your crimes, sir. But
yeah, they need to track him down. He needs to be in jail.
Why they get locked up, and then like, did they not check a registry to see like that he's wanted somewhere else, or like?
Well, if there's not a warrant, they can't just hold you. They can't hold you while they get a warrant. Either they have a warrant for you, or they don't have a warrant for you. If there's a warrant for you, they give you a certain amount of time for that state to extradite you back and come pick you up, or they release you, and it's up to that state to pick you up.
That makes me mad.
And a lot of states don't even extradite unless it's felony charges. They don't want extradite you over misdemeanor charge.
This is the murder of a little boy. What else is like that high up on the list? To me,
nothing. It's the worst crime you can humanly commit. And then the whole fact that, you know, they're saying they taped this boy up and stuffed him in a small bag. And we had been hearing rumors about him having that bag way before the affidavit came out.
That was part of why they needed him up to talk. But we don't want to say all that because that could be used in a criminal case and all that stuff that's why I think it's important to have people up and to have them allowed to talk. But at the same time, we don't ever want to cause anything as far as like.
So when Stacy was saying that, yeah, we pulled over in the car and to put the power steering fluid, and we seen the kid playing in the yard. He never seen the kid because Michael was already in the back of the truck in the duffel bag, taped up, making sounds. I don't want to.
According to him,
and he was still alive. So, and then they go take an hour and some drive with this kid in the back of a truck. And suffocate in a truck bed.
Oh my God.
In a bag, suffocating. So, and they never checked on him again. So when they got they get to Brandon's house and he's deceased, and Brandon just goes and throws him in the other room.
Just left him there.
It just left him there. And then of course to take him back to the house while everybody's out there searching for him, and he's there again. Like, that's crazy that they came back with him. Because, you know, when they came back, they seen all the people out searching for Michael Monkey Vaughan, and they come back with him in the duffel bag.
No, they didn't. They left him in the room, and they came back the next day to get
him.
That was the whole thing. They wanted to get him out of
the neighborhood.
They didn't realize the kid was going to not want to come with them. Like, the kid knows who his parents are.
Yeah, I mean, you can't grab a kid that big in age and think they're not going to know what's going on. Michael, he was big enough to know it was bad.
Yeah.
And to try to fight in the struggle. And that makes it even worse that it was just about, they took this boy's life over money, and they're saying it's an accident, but then that's murder.
That's murder.
That's murder. There ain't no accidentally killing you when you stuff somebody into a bag. You got to know at some point that this could take somebody's life, and that's considered murder in this world. And I think all four of them should face the firing squad. All four of them. And you know what ended up happening. And here's the thing. Let's just say they go to court. And if they don't hand over Monkey, I say death penalty for all of them. The only way you avoid that death penalty is you give us that kid.
Yeah.
Because that's what Brandy really wants. You know, I don't know if she really wants him dead, you know, because
They
she's
already
been.
know that he's gone. They just
No,
don't
I
know.
mean, does she want these people dead? Forget me not.
She
Thank
said,
you.
She said she would fight to have him not face the,
The
death,
death
penalty
penalty
if
if they-
Brandon told her where her baby was.
Absolutely. Forget me not. Thank you guys that have been donating. That is super awesome of you. Matter of fact, we have a goal. If there's 10 donations, I'm going to do a giveaway. Last night, I gave away 2 bars of soap and some Man Card body wash, all handmade by Dolly. Tonight, I got something even cooler if we reach that goal. But if we don't, it ain't no big deal. But if we do, I got a giveaway that I am going to be doing here if we reach the 10 super chat goal. Okay. I can't tell you what it is because I want it to be a surprise. But when we do the giveaway, you'll find out what it is.
Yeah, I believe said Jesus, that's as bad as freaking Adam doing that to his daughter.
Yes.
I mean, anytime you harm a child.
Well, Adam, it was the father. That's worse. When your loved one kills you, I
mean,
think it's worse. Because, you know, some strangers are monsters. But when your father unalives you and what he did with the body of Harmony, that was pure tea. Absolutely disgusting.
They better not
So,
offer them a plea. I'm telling you right now.
They gave it to Kohlberger and he stabbed 4 people to death.
Yeah, but
right there in Idaho. It's the same place. So you're looking at a situation where, but I would say this, like, you ain't getting no type, we ain't even discussing a deal.
I think that
until you hand over the baby.
Brandon's family has some type of burial land where it's like a natural burial. So like you're actually not buried in coffins.
Well, good. They can bury him there when they put him on a firing squad. That's how I look at it. Like, well, good thing you got a cemetery plot because you're going to be living in it.
But what do you think? Maybe that's why Brandy thinks that he
knows,
or that's where he took him.
Because Stacy was in jail, and I think Brandy knows that this falls on Sarah and Brandon because they were banging and they knew that Stacy was going to tell, and they hid Michael. I don't believe Stacy knows where Michael Monkey Vaughan is. I really don't think
I don't
he knows.
either.
But
and
I
think
think
he would have told it if he did know.
Yeah, he would have told it.
He thought he knew.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to get a deal. He thought he knew.
But that's why they found that stuff where they were digging. That's why the cadaver dog sit there, because he was telling the truth about that. You know, because he likes to lie and mix a little bit of truth in with it.
Every liar tells a
little bit of truth, right?
You just gotta sift through their lies.
They didn't trust him that he was going to, they knew he was going to talk. So they moved that baby. So I believe Brandy is right that they know, Brandon knows where this baby is, right? And Sarah, they went together while he was locked up and they moved that baby. Because Sarah told us, remember, she couldn't be around Brandon anymore because she was so in love with him. And if she's around him, she got to have him. And it was just like, right? But the woman is nasty. All of it's nasty. It's so Jerry Springer-ish of what was going on in that house that if Jerry Springer made horror movies,
this would be worse.
Yeah, it's so bad. Dolly, how is Brandy? Brandy has been doing a lot better. The power of prayer.
She knew this was coming out today. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I think she saw all this a long time ago, though. Remember when
she
said she read the charging document?
Yeah, she read it. Like, so some people were in the chat saying about, Brandy just found out about this. Nuh-uh. Brandy's seen the charges on the desk of the DA, and she knew it was coming, and she told everybody that these were coming and that they just hadn't served them yet.
Yeah.
But they were going to be charged. She knew they were being charged. Now, did she know every bit of information? I don't know. But
I think she does. I think she may know more than
all of us.
Else.
Yeah, she's going to know. Trust me, Brandy is going to know more than all of us. And just continue to pray for her because, listen, she's just getting her health back right. And the last thing we need is this woman stressed out because stress is the silent killer. Right. And her health was so bad. And I believe her health was had a Michael going missing played a big factor in her health, right? Like now he could still be there and you could still have liver problems, right? But I think stress and trying to cope with that and drinking and just worried and it causes your body to not react good. But I know this, the power of prayer works because Brandy's still here with us. And we went through a little bit of scary time with Brandy where it was really like, you know, like on the edge of your seat.
She message it was I'm in the ICU for another bleed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrifying because I was thinking, and when I was telling you about it, I was thinking like, how much more can this lady take?
Yeah. But I told PJ, I said, look, when I was out there, Brandy is a tough woman. And I even knew she didn't realize how tough she was. And PJ, you know, she was scared that Brandy might not be with us for very long. And I told PJ, I said, look, Brandy's one of the strongest women I've met. If anybody can make it through this, it will be her. Is that what I said? Right. And
I mean, I was really scared there at the end because it just kept getting worse and worse. And like she updates, I think she updates a group of people, and like it was, you know, you'd see the sores and the
how skinny she got. Oh my God, that had me so worried. I ain't even gonna lie. I know she was a tough woman, but when I first met Brandy, she looked a lot different. And seeing her get her weight back, like she's you know, getting some of that the pounds back on, where she starts to look more healthy and not like a bag of bones. And I don't mean that to be rude or mean or anything, but she really did. She looked like skin and bones. And I'm just glad, and I know the power of prayer works, and I know that because, you know, I almost passed away myself when I was in the hospital, and everybody that was praying for me, and I'm still here with you guys. So something worked, right? So something worked. So I just continue to pray for her because she still has a long road to go. I ain't gonna say like she's great and she's perfectly fine. She has a long journey still, like anybody that went through an organ transplant. So continue to pray for her and her family, not just her. Video that goes down. Good. Okay, we're back, right? We're having a little bit of buffering. Don't leave Tyler. We're definitely not. We're definitely not leaving him out. He's the father of a missing child. Like, listen, one thing you got to understand here is I'm a father. PJ's a mother, right? We're parents. Like I would freak out. My daughter is like one of my best friends. We talk every day. She's grown now, but she's still my baby girl, no matter what, right? I couldn't even imagine what Tyler and Brandy were going through. But I hold Brandy in such high regard because of how much she fights, like tooth and nail for her child. And she should be an example to all missing parents out there of how people should act. Okay. And I probably shouldn't, but I compare her to so many people. Like when you see people like the Proudfoots, how they act. And then you see how Brandy acts every day. She counts the days, she counts the minutes, she counts the seconds that her child has been missing, right? She posts this every day. She shares every picture she can. She shares every story she human possibly can. And then you see this woman cares so much that it's killing her, right? Literally killing her in front of you. And then you got people that don't give a damn, right? That's why I compare her to so many people, because this is a real mother. You're not, okay? That's the difference in it. And I've always heard that, you know, Dolly, you attack the families of missing kids. Yeah, when you got something to do with it. When you ain't got nothing to do with it, I ain't out to get you. I pray to God that parents don't hurt their kids. Right. I think that's worse. You're Adam Montgomery's, right? If you lock me in a cell with Adam Montgomery, you know what would happen to him? I can tell you this, only one of us coming out of the cell, and it ain't gonna be with the last name Montgomery. It just ain't gonna be that. That is the worst type of person in this world to me. You know, hurting kids is bad. Hurting your own kids is even worse. So I don't know how people can do it. I just don't, and how people can lose their kid and be like, oh well, let's get another one, like it's a car or something.
They
Like you can
shouldn't be
just go out.
allowed to have more kids. If
Yeah,
like that one cheerleader that unalived her baby, she should not be allowed to have kids.
You talking about the girl from Kansas that was University of Kansas cheerleader, and then the baby, you know, we don't know if the baby was stillborn or not, but we think the baby cried and was alive.
She said
the roommate heard a noise of baby crying, so we know the baby took a breath, and you know, basically threw the baby in the trash. When you do something like that, you shouldn't be able to have kids. You're right. You shouldn't be able to, right? Or just like the young boy from Oklahoma that was assaulting those girls.
Oh, God.
They should.
He's going to counseling.
Castration, right? Like it sounds terrible, but listen, you do crimes like this, well, let's make sure you can't do it again, right?
That's a part of the issue. I think that's what I talked about this morning.
Or the Alexi Vizio girl. Remember her? Who went to the hospital with the bad back, and then she goes to the bathroom.
Now. Like,
and kills the baby, and now she's turning around suing the hospital. You're a murderer. Yeah. You're a murderer. You're a child killer. Like it's insane, right? So I only go after people that are monsters. I don't go after good people. And I know most of the people that say that stuff are just channels that are hating ass channels anyway. But I just want you guys to know I go after bad people. I show zero mercy for bad people. And of course, I like good people. If you ain't got nothing to do, I wouldn't want to hurt your family if your kid really got kidnapped from you.
I mean, we remember when everybody got so upset that we met with the Wells, and then you came up here and discussed about how, well, they're human. We did see some improvement of their home, and like they did show us where they searched. They showed us some pictures of, and people got so angry with that. But I mean, ultimately, even the people that aren't acting like...
Well, I'm not here to lie on people.
No, I know. But I mean, I'm trying to say, like, you could still point out things that, like, for example, certain parents that don't search for their kids and their kids are missing. They're just sitting at home, not even looking outside of their house. That's something you would point out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you could still have a conversation with that person, or you could still discuss how, you know, they are human. Maybe, you know, they snapped and had a moment. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like there's still a grace period that you give them for being human. Like, you're not out here like straight up attacking anybody.
No, not at all. And you know, and I always say everything's allegedly, and that I'm suspicious of people, and I always let people, well, I think they may have something to do with it, but I don't have proof. Right. I always let people understand that, because there's that possibility that I could be wrong. Now, it's a very tiny possibility, right? Because I'm usually right. My batting average shows that I'm usually right. And for all these people, show me a time that I was wrong, right? And people go, well, you were wrong about Karen Reed, Dolly. I still don't
want to know her name.
I think, you know, sometimes the courts see things differently than it actually is. Right.
No, I mean, or you pay for your freedom.
Oh, yeah. If you're big money, if you got millions of dollars, you can buy your freedom. We've seen OJ do it.
Right.
Right. So,
Casey
Anthony. And I mean, well, I didn't say that about Casey Anthony. I didn't have a true crime channel during the Casey Anthony days. So I couldn't have been wrong about that one, because I never really weighed in on that one. But everything I've weighed in on, until you can prove me wrong, show me what I was wrong about. And I remember when everybody was blaming the college kids, all the jacks, for murdering the Idaho Ford. I was like, no, ain't got nothing to do with that. This is a killer that's outside, and it ended up being true. And even in the Austin Drummond thing, remember when I said it's 4 people and it's gang related? What had happened turned out to be 4 people, and it was gang related. I couldn't even believe I got that right. I was like, holy shit, my skills are getting good. So they should be tracking these people down right now. Adrian, Kay, Tina. And now, do we spare their lives if they give this baby up? You know, that's up to Brandy and the family. And I think they will.
I think Brandy had said that she would. But I mean, at this point,
but what
TikTok,
point do you,
how long do you wait for them to
That's what I'm saying.
Like
If you
time
give
is-
them that grace, right? And Brandy did, hey, you tell, we won't put you to death, and you give them that grace, and then they still don't tell. Do you defend them to the last end of it, or you just fight to the end to try to get your baby home? You know, we know he's not with us, but he still needs to come home, right? He needs to have a funeral, and he needs to be buried where his family and his brothers and his sisters can go visit his grave. And right now they don't get that. They don't got no closure. And now trust me, I'd like to see him get the firing squad, but at the same time, I can understand. I would want my daughter home. You know, if I had to spare your life and you had to rot in prison forever, I probably would. I would want to be able to go put flowers on my kid's grave. I would want to be able to talk to her, you know, those things. And that's horrible even to think of a situation like that where you would have to somewhat forgive these people, but never forget what's been done to you. You know what I'm saying? But God would want you to forgive, you know, to not hold that anger in your heart. And that's hard to do.
It's not good for you as a human to hold on to anger.
Yeah.
Either.
We seen Charlie Kirk's wife do that. Say she came out publicly and said, listen, I forgive the killer.
And everybody was like, oh my God, it's too soon, shocked. But it's necessary for her to be able
to heal.
I mean, I can't imagine how long that
if you were just mad at somebody every day and you wanted the worst for them. And it's like this, when you wish bad on people, even though they've done you wrong, right? It brings that bad energy back to yourself. So like, I tell people this, there's like YouTubers I don't like, but I don't hate anybody.
No.
Right? I don't put that negative energy out there where like I'm mad.
It's the opposite of liking somebody is not hating them. It's the indifference. It's like not, I mean, you don't look at them. You don't, I mean, they're human like you are, but
yeah.
They don't take up any of your time or energy.
Like, I think as you get older, you get a little wiser and you realize, hey, I can't harbor this anger and this hate. It's not good for me, right? And this is what in this world, it's about you. It's your life, it's your journey, and how you feel inside. And if you're bottling up hate, eventually it's going to explode.
Well, negativity in general, like all the channels that talk about other people in a negative light every single day, that'll catch up to you. You can't be a positive, happy-go-lucky, successful person
and have all that hate
and have so much hatred
towards just anybody
and negativity.
I think it's a jealousy that a lot of these people are kind of get these jealous kind of vibes going.
It's
you know,
weird.
I don't want to turn this into what's going on the internet, but just in general, when you put good out into the world, good comes back to you. When you put out negativity into this world and you gang up and attack people, you got to remember, people that gang up and attack people, they would gang up and attack you. And they will, even once they don't have anybody to attack, there always has to be a villain. So they create a villain.
Why can't people put themselves in other people's shoes anymore?
It don't. And why did everybody act like kids?
But like back in the day, I remember people would be able to like see themselves in the situation that the person's in and maybe think like, hey, if that was me, I wouldn't want somebody talking to me that way, or I wouldn't want to be treated that way. But nowadays it's like they're mad at something somebody did that they do every day.
I think Mab said it best. Followers. There's not many leaders in this world. There ain't very many people that carve their own path. They follow somebody else. Instead of doing their own thing and creating their own universe, they jump up in somebody else's world. And then, you know, like they have a leader, and then they have a hierarchy. And it like I've always compared all this to high school behavior. Like, you know,
I think it's middle school.
Maybe even middle school. You know, as you get high school, you start to get more problems and you start worrying about everybody else because you're worried about yourself. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's junior high mentality. And to see this coming from a lot of like older women is like, it's bizarre to me, right? Like,
I mean, it's not bizarre to me. It's just,
And for men that do a ton of drama,
that's weird to me.
It is weird. too. To me, as a man, it's kind of weird. Now, you listen, I'll pick and joke on people and play and shit,
That's
but
different.
when you invest it in just full blown drama and
when
hate and stuff,
when you actually choose to roast somebody or to
it's
engage
jokes.
in the drama, it's not, you're not emotionally invested in the story. Like, remember when the bee cankles and you did the bee noise and everything? Like, you literally ended that stream and like it wasn't talked about ever again. Like, it wasn't like a continuous, like, we have to have this battle between
with
these
people, yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, it's I like to joke and play and make people laugh, but far as like physically hating people, I don't hate people. I don't dwell on people. Like, you may say things, people may say things about me here on the internet and think, well, I got him. He's mad. He's probably kicking holes in the wall. No, I'm like eating a popsicle watching Netflix. Like, it don't work like that. But in their mind, they think everybody has to one up each other, and it becomes like a big pissing contest.
Well, women are competitive.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that so many dudes were bitches. I just hate to say it, right? I mean, listen, no hate in my heart towards you, but you act like a woman, okay?
That's why people that are like that dislike you, because that's the worst thing you could do is laugh at them and call them bitches.
I just, what do you do? What do you do, right? Like, that's why I always tell people here on YouTube that I'm not here to make YouTube friends and stuff like that. I'm here to find justice for missing people and kids, because that's what I'm passionate about. Now, I can joke like the best of them, right? Because I'm just a goofy guy, right? So I can joke the shit out of you, but do I want to do that? No, I'd rather do something important with my time, because in this world, there's one thing you can never get back. It's the most expensive thing in the world, and that's your time.
Yeah.
Right? You can't take that back. So every minute I give you, that minute is important, because I could have took that minute and did something great with that minute. Now I done took away from what I could have done great to roast somebody or joke your man boobs or, but and in the same time, like I said, I don't dislike, I ain't saying I like you, but what I'm saying is I don't hate anybody. And I think some of these people, they hate people. They actually truly hate people. And you gotta, like, you can't have that in your heart. Like, that's what I want to encourage people. If you hate people, try to find a way to forgive those people. But don't forget what they done to you. Never forget what people do. But forgive, so you're not walking around thinking you got to get back at people. Because an eye for an eye just leaves everybody blind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
True. That's a good one.
It just, you will be blind. You'll always try to one up each other in the.
Plus, you should always want to be better every day.
A better human being.
A better human. And so, if you're no better than the person that you're so angry at, then I mean, what makes you any different or any better than them?
Yes, right.
So.
And sometimes it takes the bigger person to go, okay, say what you want, and I don't care, okay, and walk away. That is the winner. The person that can go, man, I don't care what you say, and it don't faze me. You have no power over me with your words. That right there is your winner. If you want to think of it as a tit for tat, the person that don't care is the person that wins.
Yeah, because the difference between love and hate is the middle, the indifference.
So,
all of its energy.
Dolly, your opinions have been on point. Do you think Richard Allen is guilty? In my opinion, he is innocent. The math is not math in that case. Army Mom, I think Richard Allen is innocent. I always have. PJ disagrees with me on this one.
I don't think he did it alone, but he had to have been.
To me,
in my opinion,
I've never seen any connection between Richard Allen and Keegan Kline and people that were involved with Abby and Libby. So right at this present time, I'm going with Richard Allen is innocent. Now, if you can prove to me he's connected to these other people, then I would say, okay, well, yeah, you got something.
He just happens to be strolling by on the bridge at the same
you can
time.
I mean, I've been in a parking lot with 2 people dead in the Mickey D's. I didn't kill them.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True. That's true.
I found their bodies. I didn't kill them.
That's true.
Does that make me a killer? No, but they weren't murdered. They died of drug overdose. But still, you get the point. Just because you're at the scene of a crime or a death doesn't mean
That's true.
I was at a house party and a dude got stabbed to death when I was a teenager. I didn't kill the guy. I had nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? But I was there.
Yeah.
So there's those possibilities that something like that could transpire or take place. And just because he was there, and he told he was there. He didn't like he tried to hide it or
after some time.
and he has mental health issues. So
that's the thing that I can't stand is when people try to utilize mental health issues as their reason for being a way that they are. I don't know.
Justice James says Richard Allen is the bridge guy, in my opinion. I don't think so. I think it was Keegan or Keegan's daddy.
No, I think the bridge guy is actually that guy that's dead. That there's so many people.
The Logan guy.
Yeah, but I think Richard's got to be connected to some of them somehow, and they just haven't.
But here's the thing: Richard Allen never spoke with Abby and Libby. Keegan Kline did.
Right.
Keegan Kline is Anthony Schatz.
That's the person that lured them to
there. So, what's the chances of me luring you somewhere and another killer killing you?
None.
There's right, and you know he's a pedo, right? He had all these images on his computer. He led you there. He's into kids, and somebody else has magically killed you.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I believe Richard Allen is. And
look
how they treated him in court. Look how they treated him in court.
What do you mean?
Shackled like Hannibal Lecter. They wheeling you in there and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on now. That's crazy. And the torture, and he couldn't talk to his lawyers in private or nothing.
That's supposedly what's happening to Allison Drummond right now. He got moved to a prison without a trial, and he's also not allowed to talk to anybody.
Well, you got to listen. You can't treat people. You can't do stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go just answer Army Mom with, I think he's innocent. I think he's innocent. I think Keegan, they already had him in jail, and they just railroaded this guy. And sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes they hit you with crazy charges that you had nothing to do with. And they try to say that an unspent shell case matched. How the hell can you match an unspent shell case?
You can, because the way that when you pull the trigger back, it leaves a mark on the casing.
That has never in the history of court ever been used. Ever.
Yes, it has.
I've never seen that used. Spent bullets, fired bullets, yes. Unspent bullets.
Well, it ended up that they couldn't get it to replicate, so I don't even
that's
know
what
why
I'm saying.
In there. But I mean, it will replicate when it's the same.
When it was fired.
Right.
But his wasn't fired. So how can you replicate? One bullet's fired, one bullet ain't fired, and they're saying, well, they match. Well, how can they match? This one's been fired, this one hasn't.
Right.
That's.
I mean, I didn't think that was sufficient evidence either.
Yeah, and you got this dude in prison for murder
before he even had a trial. Yeah, I don't. This is why transparency is important.
He admits to a crime right after they give him drugs. Yeah. Okay,
psychotic drugs.
Drugs.
And then they claimed he's not psychotic, but yet they gave him psychotic drugs. It's weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's able to say in trial he's not crazy, but let's give him psychotic drugs. Well, you only give drugs to psychotic people, right? So why would you give him that if he's not crazy? Because you need him to confess to a crime that he didn't commit. And I think he's innocent. I think he's in it. He even on the phone said, look, if they keep messing with you, I'll say whatever they want me to say. He said it, right? He's like, I'll confess to damn shooting John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
You know, you could go to that man and be like, you shot John F. Kennedy.
And he did say stuff that happened that didn't actually happen. He said they got shot.
They got shot, and we know that they were cut.
Yeah.
Right? They were sliced with a box cutter. He had no clue to how the girls even died.
And then after he got shown the paperwork, so then, I mean, he read some of the paperwork, and then he did have some of the information correct, but that was after he got shown the paperwork.
After he was told, he was fed information so he could get it right. You know, and that is terrible. I know that's way off topic. We wasn't, talking Delphi here today, but I believe that they're going to go to these people once they have them all in custody and offer a plea to get Michael Monkey Vaughan back. And the first one that talks is going to be the first one to walk.
That's past time. That there's already.
Well, no, now they've been officially charged. This is where they can offer a plea deal. You can't offer a plea deal to somebody who ain't been charged with nothing.
They got offered stuff because I just read where Stacy went in asking for the same thing they offered Sarah, and then when Stacy was up on Crime Lines Live channel, he said out his mouth, "Well, I didn't take the 15 and 7. What was it? 15 and 7." I know you remember that because they offered him that.
Yeah, because they were saying they were going to charge him, but they
and
didn't.
Brandon got offered something because Dan Guthrie, his family friend, said the detectives swarmed his house looking for Brandon, and they were telling him what they were going to offer him if he just told us where the baby is. And then I think they told Brandon,
yeah, but
his
they didn't know
friend,
completely what the charges were at that time. Now,
they've known all of this.
They could have known for the murder
known all of
charge, but
this.
as far as the other charges that they were brought down with them from the DA, I mean, now is the time that they would offer a deal.
They've known all that because when Dan Guthrie was told by the detectives, he says it on Sam's channel that he felt physically sick and that he couldn't stand.
This is the problem with the court system right here, right? Golden Star 846 says Richard Allen is never getting out. It doesn't matter how many nutters want to set him free. It's done. You have like.
I would hate for you to be in that predicament.
Yes, I would hate for you to be in that spot too. Okay, especially when there's no evidence, no physical evidence whatsoever that says this man ever killed anybody. None, zero. Okay.
Wow, Shellbell said Ron Logan used to come to the bar I worked at. He always drank 2 beers and left.
And then you remember Ron Logan's wife said that he hit her in the head, tried to strangle her. Yeah, but I've been saying that's what he said.
She said it was him.
And the kid, they were on her property.
She said the bridge guy was him. The voice and everything she said was him.
Yeah, why insult people calling them? Yeah, like nobody cares what people. When you say stuff like that, it shows you don't have an open mind to what's going on. Your mind's already closed. You've made your mind up of what is, and you believe you know what happened. Right now, I don't think that's the case. I don't think there's enough to know what happened. I don't think the man is guilty. It goes down to a jury. I think he was treated very unfair. I believe his constitutional rights were violated for a fact. And I wouldn't want to see you or your family member in that same situation. If that makes me a nutter, then I'm a nutter. Okay.
I like nuts.
I like roasted almonds, and I like honey barbecue peanuts are good. I wish there's a way we could help him. I mean, he'll get another trial, and hopefully he can get it moved out of that area.
They just did the appeal evidence or something the other day.
I got bad vibes from Ron Logan. I avoided him at all costs. I don't blame you, and I don't think it's Ron Logan though. Me myself, I don't think it's Ron Logan. I mean, I'm not positive. I mean, it could be possible, but
all of these people. Let's say
here's what people forget: after Abby and Libby was murdered, okay, Anthony Schatz contacted Libby's friend, and she said, "Did you meet with them?" And he said, "No." Right. And that girl told them where she lived. And then she got off the school bus and went home. And there was a man with a ski mask looking through her window. Who was that? Was that Richard Allen? No, it wasn't. It was Anthony Schatz, which was Keegan Kline. Keegan Kline is the only one that had contact with any of these girls. And Keegan Kline would have killed her. But she got off the school bus and seen him and ran. Do your research before you say something stupid, right? True crime is my life. I was following the Delphi murders before I even had a true crime channel. So if you're not informed on the information that's out there, what about murder sheets? Remember murder sheets came out? They got the paperwork from Keegan Kline where he said that he was Anthony Schatz and he was talking to him and he led him there. I mean, y'all overlook all that to wrongly convict somebody. I'd hate to be in jail for some shit I didn't do.
Jody said it was weird when Kathy Allen said, "You didn't tell me you were going to the bridge that day."
And then you got what Keegan and his dad flee into Vegas afterwards.
I think there's some kind of black market site or something that they're all on as far as what they're into. Because I don't think anybody did that alone. Even if it was Keegan, I don't think it got done alone based on where they were, how far.
No, Keegan was involved with his daddy. His daddy was just as creepy as he was.
Right. I think there was more than that. I think there was more people.
And you look at him, he's sitting in jail right now for 30 years. Right. So they already had him. So they wanted somebody else. And they got somebody. They got somebody that they could railroad. They got somebody that had mental health problems. That they no physical evidence, not zero, not a blood drop, not nothing, not a hair, not a fiber, not nothing. And this man is convicted of murder. If you were putting me in court and you had nothing against me.
And that's a problem too. Someone said we really didn't hear the evidence like the jury did because it was close to the public. I believe that was wrong. Like, why such secrecy? Like, they had like tunnels to walk him through where
they had fences put up outside the place that were blacked off.
Remember the media guy that got all of his
the judge wouldn't step down. Remember the lawyers were trying to get the judge step down. The judge refused.
The judge then let the lawyers go.
Yeah, fired his lawyers and pointed her friends.
That was friends with her on Facebook.
Yeah, that's shit. That ain't
but
justice.
Then you couldn't. The media guy that got all of his cameras stripped and they erased his memory cards like he was some sort of prisoner.
They didn't want stuff out in that.
That was weird.
They didn't want to show him get railroaded to the world. They didn't want to show that.
We still saw it.
We heard it.
Well, we don't know what they went over as far as evidence. So, like, I mean, that's true. We can't really say what all they have now that I think about it.
There's so many inconsistencies in their story of prosecution that I think some people may disagree with me here. I think Richard Allen is way more innocent than Karen Reed.
I agree. I would actually stand on that.
Richard Allen just didn't have no money. Okay. He didn't have Alan Jackson and Yannetti in his corner.
Karen Reed didn't say she hit him because she was on psychotic medication. She just said it.
She said, did I hit him? Could I hit him? I hit him. I just saying that. I'm just throwing that out there. That may be the situation. For all you Karen Reed supporters out there, she's innocent. I'll tell you, Karen Reed's innocent. She was proven innocent in a court of law. So I would say, hey, Karen, even though I believe she ran over John O'Keefe, I would say this is an innocent woman. She was proven in a court of law to be innocent, and I will treat her as she's an innocent woman. You know. Now, do I treat Richard Allen as a guilty person right now? Yes. He sits in prison. He's been proven guilty in a court of law until they overturn that, which I hope they do. And he gets some good lawyers and gets away from that area and gets a fair trial, because I don't think he got a fair trial. I just truly don't. And that's from all my years of just, even before this channel, being into Abby and Libby, into the Delphi murders. Yeah. From TV. This was before internet. Like, for me, I was following that case. And then, you know, once I started the True Crime channel, of course, I followed it more and more and more, all through when the state police were coming out and they were trying to find out who Anthony Shots were. And there was just a mystery. And I always thought, I've always loved a good mystery. Like, even from Scooby-Doo as a kid, you know what I'm saying? I've always loved a good mystery. And to me, it was a mystery about trying to figure out who this person was. And I like that they were giving out these updates. And I remember the state police said, we got this. Just give us a little time. And we're going to.
That was a long time.
Button it up. Yeah, it did. It took a long time. And then they came out and arrested somebody nobody even had no clue of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they were looking for Anthony Shots. Like, Anthony Shots was the killer. And then, you know, Anthony Shots was actually a police officer. In Alaska. He was a model, and they catfished the pictures and used his pictures, and he was like a police officer that was from another state, and he had some creepy tendencies too.
The real Anthony Shots?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Right. Because I knew this girl that was sending him messages, and he was and she was a young girl, and he was kind of pervy. Allegedly, from what I heard, right? But he was a young man too at the time, but not, he was an adult, but I don't know. It's always been it's been a weird one, man. We'll see what happens. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I don't make the final decision. If you ask me my opinion, I just give it to you.
I still don't think that anyone should be taken to prison without.
Somebody says
having a
Keegan
trial.
Klein would have never met up anyone. That's not true. That's absolutely, that's not true. There's another girl. Okay. It wasn't just Abby and Libby. It was Abby, Libby, and their friend. Okay. Go back and do the research. The girl was talking to Anthony Schatz also. The third girl. The third girl told Anthony Schatz where she lived. She gets off the school bus. There's a man at her window, her bedroom window, with a ski mask on. The only person she told where she lived was Keegan Klein. And Keegan Klein's ass showed up at that house in a ski mask and was at her bedroom window. Facts. Okay? Facts. So you can throw that out the window all you want, but listen, I don't believe in coincidences. You tell somebody where you live and they show the hell up, who you think showed up at her house? So go back and do the research on it, and you'll see that Richard Allen don't explain the third person. Richard Allen never knew who the third person was. So is there two people killing people in that small ass place?
No.
That's
but
what
I
I'm saying.
There's a group of people that are all into the same thing in the same place.
It could be. Could it be something of a cult in there, a group of sex?
The one kid's
People?
dad, he was.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepy people
right.
in there.
There's definitely a handful of people that.
And then you got the Odinism shit.
Right.
That's at first we thought that was all fake, and then come to find out it wasn't fake. So. I a little wild, a little crazy, but we still got off topic again. So listen, continue to pray for Brandy Neal and that we get justice for Michael Monkey Vaughan. They've been arrested, but is that justice? That's not justice yet.
Not yet.
It's not. We got a long path to still go in this. And just like I said, Brandy has a long path of still getting better. We still have a long path to get justice for Michael Monkey Vaughan. We're looking better today than we was 2 months ago, for sure.
Where are we now? Who says that?
Where are we now?
No, I didn't finish it. What was that thing Tony always used to say every time he was live?
Are we any farther today than we was on June 7th, right? On February 26th. Ain't that today?
Yeah.
Are we any farther along than the question I would have asked them? Are we any farther along today than we were on February 26th? And Dave Sebastian would mention. I would say yes, we are. We are farther along. It took a long time to get here. It's like smoking. Man, we got a long way to go in a short time to get there. But we went a long ways over a long time. Right? It wasn't a short, quick run.
It was a long time.
It's been a journey, and we still got. This is going to be going on for a couple more years, as far as courts and appeals and stuff like that. We still have a really long road to go to actually get justice for Michael Monkey Vaughan. And if we could get him home and a funeral for this kid, that would be the greatest at this point, right? That's what I truly believe.
I'm pretty young.
Yeah, we're going to get ready, guys, to get out of here. Now, tell us what you think about the affidavit that came out in the comment box down below, right? We've had a long day. Me and PJ both got up early. I had to get up and go pick my car up this morning, and I got up at like 8 o'clock. I didn't even go to bed till like 3 o'clock. So I got about 4 hours sleep. I had to drive 2 hours there.
We're going to keep talking.
And then
get up.
2 hours back. So I had 4 hours of driving today. And then we had to go to DMV to get tags for the car. So we've had a long day. So we didn't reach the 10, did we?
No.
How many did we get
3.
to? 3. Damn, I was gonna give away. I'll show them what I was gonna give away. Hand it to me. I was gonna give this tumbler away. Okay. I was gonna give our new dragon fruit body wash away and 2 bars of Dolly soap. But you know, maybe next show we'll set the goal the same. And but that's what we was going to give away tonight. All right. But it didn't matter because we never got to the giveaway because we didn't get to the goal. All right. But I'm going to try to do that, do one giveaway a show if we reach a goal. And
I forgot what this smells like.
dragon fruit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that smells good.
Yeah, that's one of my new ones. And the man, hand me that one.
Oh
This
God.
is for the fellows out there watching.
Fellows.
The fellows. This is my new man card.
It smells like Axe to me. Yeah, it does.
Oh, that smells so good. I like it. So this is the man card. We made new labels for the bottles. So it says man card on it. So this is for the fellows. This one's for the ladies.
Fellows.
The fellows. The dudes. Right? Fellow dudes. And this one, of course, dragon fruit is more of a sweeter smell for the ladies. All right. But these are 2 new ones that I did, dragon fruit and man card. We took the old man card saying because I thought that was a good ring to it.
Don't beg. What? I'm going to bed.
All right. So anyway, you guys be good. And if you want to get some Dolly soap, great way to support the channel. Make great Christmas gifts, good stocking stuffers, right?
Yes.
BuyDollySoap.com.
That one smells amazing.
We got so many different soaps right now, lotions, body washes, tumblers, t-shirts, hats, Dolly Vision hats, everything, right? So get your stuff in, and I'll tell y'all what I'm giving away tomorrow. I'm giving away a signed Dolly t-shirt in the next stream. All right. If we hit our goal, I'm going to give away a Dolly t-shirt. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be good. And just remember this. If nobody else does, Dolly loves you. Peace.